All right, my big inspiration right now is to just make being a human energetically efficient and simple again. And the first step to that is to relate through creation, through consciousness and the conscious field. And specifically, I want to talk to you about conscious awareness, because we've all kind of been grown up in this scientific model, this psychology model that views conscious awareness arising right here in the brain. And before I explain why that's a problem, why using the terms conscious mind and consciousness actually creates a lot of resistance and reduced capacity, I want to show you through an electricity analogy how The Art of Falling Asleep views the conscious field, which is simply a field that develops from polarity in the heart with God's potential. The heart acts as a load that returns a neutral signal, right? And so this creates this voltage field, and that's all that voltage is. It's an energetic tension between 2 points, and this happens to be the point of God's potential and neutrality, right? So this field right here is the most stabilizing force of your life, and as long as you can access that field and relate to that field, then everything downstream of that will take care of itself through divine intelligence. Now, back to consciousness arising in the brain and the frequency of the problem. First, structurally, you see that the heart, you probably already know this, that the heart's magnetic field is so much greater than the brain's magnetic field. So if you're just looking at it structurally, energetically, how does that fit inside of that, right? That makes no sense. And so if awareness is centered, consciousness is centered in the brain. Now, the first problem that this creates is that your awareness is also right next to where conditioning is, and where the amygdala is constantly scanning for danger, and where there's a lot of unresolved emotions that are still trying to find the capacity to be integrated. So when you think about some of the more dense, complex emotional experiences and journeys that we go on, like sleep and forgiveness and unconditional love, it's really hard to love somebody unconditionally from the center of conditioning. And it's hard to forgive somebody if you're forgiving them from the center, from where the amygdala is telling you all the things that could happen, right? All the bad things that can happen if you actually forgive that person, or if you forgive yourself even. So this creates the frequency of the problem, right? Because you have access to logic, but you also have access to a lot of other distortion. And so we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? This isn't to bypass the brain or the body. It's actually just to ground, to create a pathway that gives the brain access to the entire conscious field, right? So what I'm saying here, the reason that this is very important, is that if you're wanting to be more conscious and you're like, okay, then I should go up into the conscious mind. I need to go up into the brain. And then you're going to be analyzing, thinking that you're really in the heart, and it's just going to create a distorted field. And then when you act upon the information in that field and then have that reflected back to you, this is how we stay in cycles of shame and low self-worth and an inability to properly love oneself, right? So I'm going to stop here. This is a conversation that will continue, but the invitation is for you to start relating to awareness as arising in the heart, and that you have the ability to become so aware that that this awareness stems before the body and brain even came along, before the senses were there. So you have this is why you have the ability to close your eyes and see yourself sitting there and really observe like how you are behaving in the world, right? So that's all I got for now.